What's up, guys? So today I want to talk about difficulty sleeping due to anxiety. Is anxiety making it hard for you to fall asleep, stay asleep? This video is for you. I'm going to cover everything, what it was like for me. Also, more importantly, going to give you some tips and some strategies to help you out with this problem starting today. Let's go. So my difficulty with sleeping, my insomnia, my horrible situation at night was really severe in the beginning. And I think that's because everything was new, fresh, everything was really scary. That's when my acceptance was at basically zero. I thought I was having heart problems, heart attacks, issues, involving my heart. I had heart anxiety, cardiophobia. And this was by far the roughest part of my health anxiety. I was having multiple panic attacks a day. So imagine the amounts of cortisol and adrenaline that were just kind of in my body all the time. My symptoms had become chronic very quickly. So I was just kind of always in a state of anxiety and going into panic multiple times a day. Now, something that's very important about my journey is that my first major panic attack that lasted 6 hours that kicked this thing off, it happened at night. It happened at night. So I developed a very strong association with nighttime being a horrible situation where my symptoms can come up because of that first really bad traumatic experience. So my association developed very quickly. Some of you, it's going to grow quickly. For others, it may take a week or two of you having some symptoms at night for you to grow that association with nighttime. So understand that that's part of what's happening. You have a bad situation at night, you have a panic attack, anxiety attack, a bunch of symptoms, or you just have anxiety-related insomnia where your body and your mind's kind of going a little bit too quick for your liking, and it just keeps you up. It's restless, you toss, you turn, and then you basically become afraid of that happening again. Therefore, it does happen. You have a lot of anticipatory anxiety, and it just solidifies this association. So mine happened pretty much off the bat. That first night turned into months of me going through this vicious cycle of where I would get either zero sleep, at best 1 or 2 hours of sleep, and this would happen over a period of 2 days. The third day, and a lot of you can attest to this, your body just crashes because you have to get sleep at some point to survive, and your body will survive, so it'll go to sleep. And for me, then I would sleep 13 to 14, 15 hours, play catch up, which was horrible with my life at the time, trying to work and keep a job with getting no sleep and then sleeping too much. And then I'd go back into this cycle until I made drastic changes. There's some other reasons why nighttime can be anxiety filled. Everything quiets down. You can't even find anything good on TV. The people that you love, your family or your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, they're getting some good sound sleep, and you don't want to wake them up. Or you don't want to make that phone call late at night to get some of that support and get some of that reassurance. For me, I was more afraid at night because everybody was asleep, and I was scared that I was going to have a heart attack and nobody was going to be able to help me or, bring me back to life or call an ambulance for me or rush me to the hospital. So that was another component of my anxiety. Also, we start to really focus and listen to our symptoms at night because there's less distractions. I mentioned the TV thing, but a lot of you are not working at night. A lot of you are not busy at night. This is where we're trying to calm down and sleep. The problem with that, ironically, is that we're listening to our symptoms. We become extremely sensitive and hyper aware of what's going on. Now we feel our heartbeat even more. We try to lay our head on our pillow. We hear our heartbeat in our ear, right? And on the pillow. We feel the tension a lot more. So we put a lot more focus and fear into these symptoms, and that magnifies the symptoms. So that's another reason why anxiety at night can be frustrating. And then it seems we get frustrated, we get annoyed, or we become afraid, and it makes it 10 times worse. The harder we try to fall asleep, the harder it is to fall asleep until maybe we go 2 to 3 days, and then we just have to crash because that's just what the body's going to do to survive. But the more annoyance and frustration, guys, that you show, and trust me, there's nothing more frustrating than not getting your sleep if you have to go to school, go to work, or just do things, because the next day, even if you're not calling in or missing something, your anxiety is a lot worse in the morning if you didn't get good sleep. So you see how you just turn this into a vicious cycle, And then we have to make drastic changes to break down this association, but it is possible. But my symptoms would be really, really heightened at night. When the sun started going down, I started to get worried that I wasn't going to get sleep. That made the situation worse. I would do this little thing, even if I was tired, I would lay down, I would gasp for air. I would have like this weird anxiety sleep apnea thing. I had this deal where I would jolt awake really quickly. You know, those little dreams that you have when you're trying to fall asleep and you feel like you're falling or something into some dark abyss. I would have that a lot. Lots of times I would jolt up to hearing a sound that didn't really occur, like a siren or a doorbell, or I've even heard a tiger or a lion roar, honking of a horn. That one happened quite a few times. Really weird stuff. I would also sometimes be able to fall asleep for an hour, but then I would wake up with a raging nocturnal panic attack where my heart rate's just through the roof, my blood pressure, I feel dizzy, disoriented, confused. And it made me afraid that there was something wrong with my heart. Nightmares were terrible. I know a lot of people would suggest, well, just try to take naps. And I would suggest that to you guys. Try to get your sleep when you can get it. Problem for me is when I would try to take a nap, the jolting would be worse. I would have sleep paralysis, which is, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. I would wake up. I could see things, I could hear things, but my body didn't wake up for another couple minutes. It's pretty horrifying. And then I would have horrible nightmares, and basically naps just turned me off. And I was just like, if I'm going to get my sleep, I'm going to stay up, try to push through this, and maybe I'll be able to fall asleep tonight. So basically, in a nutshell, in the beginning of my anxiety, this was terrible because of my fear of something being wrong with my heart. There's not a lot of things going on. I didn't work at night, so not a lot of distractions. The people that you love are asleep. There's some negativity and fear just associated with darkness that's there. And yeah, you're listening, you're focused in more, you're practicing hearing every little thing that's going on in your body. Therefore, your pain threshold goes down, your sensitivity goes up, your hyper awareness goes up. That allows you to become more aware of what's going on, more fearful, more annoyed, more frustrated, and then that magnifies the symptom. And the more you get frustrated, the longer it continues. The first thing that we have to do, we have to handle our anticipatory anxiety towards nighttime. This is something that has to be fixed. Otherwise, everything else that I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be very, very easy for you. You have to change your perception on nighttime. What does it represent? For a lot of you, fear, negativity, darkness, panic, nocturnal attacks, heightened sensitivity and awareness, loneliness, every negative aspect of anxiety. If you're watching this video and you're into it, that probably means that you have all those negative aspects of anxiety heightened at nighttime. We have to change that first consciously to then get our subconscious to relax and to be easier on us at night. And we just try to build on that momentum. So the first thing that I want you to do when it comes to anticipatory anxiety is practice saving the fear for the moment. You're going to have this thought that's going to pop up throughout the day. So this is the first strategy towards anticipatory anxiety, and I'll give you a more aggressive one in a second. But you can first start to tell yourself, well, I'm not getting into bed right now. It's not dark outside right now. It's light. It's beautiful outside. You know, I'm at my job right now. I'm with my family right now. I'm taking a walk right now. I'm having breakfast, or I'm watching TV. I'm not in that situation where my anxiety gets really rough. So I'm going to try to enjoy the present moment, right? You're allowing yourself to be more present, and you're not walking into that bedroom at night like a loaded gun getting in your bed. You know, I'm going to save the fear for the moment. I'll handle that whenever it gets here. I have confidence. You have to have confidence at some point. Even if it's just starting a day, I'm going to start believing and having hope that I'm going to be better tonight, that things are going to be okay, you know, that I'll be able to handle myself and practice talking to myself and using some of these other tips that Trey's going to give me. We're going to save the fear for the moment. This can give you some momentum. But so many of you, and like myself back in the day, all throughout the day, you're worrying about, I hope I get sleep tonight, man. I hope I get sleep, or I hope I don't have to call into work. Or, you know, hopefully it isn't as bad as it was last night. We're going to change that. I'm going to save the fear for the moment. If I struggle, which I might, probably will struggle a little bit, I'm going to handle it then. I'm not going to let, 60% of my day revolve around my fear of what's going to happen tonight. I'll handle it then. The next one, guys, you have to see nighttime as an opportunity. This is when you're going to rewire the most. This is more of an aggressive approach towards your anticipatory anxiety. Tonight is a chance. This is my opportunity. Because if you really think about it, you need your symptoms to come up in these situations to learn how to respond better, to respond quickly, and to more importantly, gain the trust of your subconscious by being consistent with your response and your fast response time. You need your symptoms to pop up. Same thing you can apply to all the other things that trigger you. Your anxiety in the car or your anxiety at your job. Symptoms need to pop up in these situations so you can respond the right way, give context, respond quickly, and to eventually gain the trust that this is a safe environment, so then the symptoms will fade. Stop trying to work it backwards. I want the symptoms to stop so then I can get in bed and be happy and then we're all going to be good. It's not going to happen. So until you approach it this way, your association will remain and you will continue to struggle every single day. All right? I want you guys to start writing bedtime affirmations. We hear of gratitude affirmations, positive affirmations. We're just going to kind of make the affirmation centered around nighttime, right? I love to sleep. My bed is a safe place. Things are going to be okay tonight. Be a little bit more elaborate than that. I just don't want to spend a ton of time on it. Write yourself 25, 30 bedtime affirmations. Read it whenever you wake up. Read it at lunchtime. Read it before it starts to get dark, just to get your subconscious in the mood for calming down. You're giving context. You're giving it positivity. You're letting it know that things don't have to be bad tonight. Things can be good. That we love sleep, that sleeping is safe. When it gets dark outside, we are safe. We are good because of this, this, and this. And it also brings me to build a case that nighttime is safe, right? You have your affirmations that you can have a list of those that you read yourself, or you can just make a video to yourself or write it out on a notebook, right? Why is it okay for us to fall asleep? Why are things safe? Give context. Don't just say things are okay, things are fine. Your subconscious isn't going to respond that much. It's not in the mood to really trust you, and it's definitely not going to trust you if you're not elaborate. Why are we okay? Why are we safe? Why is nighttime okay? Why should, your subconscious ease up on the symptoms? It doesn't need to be because they're painful and we got to go to work and we got to do this. Don't do that. Give it reasons to feel safe. Use your imagination. Spend a whole day writing out your case to your subconscious. And again, go over your case a couple times a day. Get your subconscious in the mood for falling asleep. Something else, guys, once you've got the mindset, this is where you can start plugging in a bunch of other tools. Adjust your bedtime. Move it ahead 30 minutes, move it back 30 minutes, move it ahead an hour, move it back an hour. This has helped a lot of people that I've talked to over the phone with my coaching. Adjusting and moving your bedtime can confuse your anxiety and throw everything off. Some of this is happening, especially if you're waking up with attacks and you're waking up, jolting awake or just waking up and you can't fall back asleep. It's probably happening at the end of some of your sleep cycles. So moving things around can be beneficial as well. The next one, guys, you need a morning and an evening routine. They feed off of each other. I know we're focused on sleep and I know you're interested in the evening routine to get you ready. It starts in the morning. If you don't start your day good, it's not going to end well. And then the evening routine isn't going to go well. So you need to have a routine in the morning. I have a very detailed routine on my anxiety course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. You'll get that up towards the beginning of that course in the orientation section. But to just briefly go over some things that you should be doing, you should be waking up really, really quickly in the morning. You need to hydrate. You need to sweat and get a workout in. You need to hit it with a cold shower. You need to have a period of mindfulness where you're doing meditation, journaling, going over your case that nighttime is safe, positive affirmations, gratitude affirmations, having a gratitude progression that you go through. Do the things that you got to do throughout the day. If you have time, have a period where you do some exposure. And of course, if you're watching this video, you're going to have a lot of exposure at night. And then whenever you get back home, there's a certain amount of things that you need to do. We need to start winding down and relaxing earlier. A lot of us, we're revving our heart up with either a workout too close to bedtime, we're eating a big meal right before we fall asleep. Some of you are drinking, some of you are using tobacco, some of you are consuming caffeine or sugar that's going to keep the body awake. Your body doesn't need to worry about, digesting those things or processing those things. It needs to be worried about going to sleep. Not to mention stimulants and all that are just going to make your heart go crazy at night. You're going to be very sensitive to them, and it's just going to feed into this whole issue. But you need to have another period of mindfulness before bedtime as well. For some of you, that may be breathing techniques, but meditation works great. Go over your bedtime affirmations. Go through your positive and your gratitude affirmations. Visualization Visualize tonight going great. Visualize you getting good sleep. What does that look like? Visualize how great you're gonna feel in the morning after you get that sleep. You gotta change your response. Whenever you feel symptoms at night, feel these things coming on thick, there's multiple ways of responding. I love the giving context. Give self-love. Talk to your subconscious like it's your inner child. So for some of you, challenging symptoms, asking them to intensify, to desensitize to those symptoms, to confuse your anxiety further, and to show your subconscious that the symptoms aren't justified. If I'm asking things to come on, like I can take it, I can handle it, subconscious, just give it all to me, it doesn't sound like I'm afraid. It sounds like I'm being a leader, and therefore it's gonna confuse anxiety. It'll confuse a little bit the subconscious, a little reverse psychology here. And I found that could be very, very effective. It's a little bit more aggressive, but trust me, try it out. You can respond with gratitude. You can respond with the positive affirmations. And also another important part of this, guys, you have to respond quickly. Stop waiting 10 minutes to then address your chest pain or your spiraling thoughts. One thought will turn into 20 if you wait that long. Your chest pain will become so severe, or the tightness or whatever sensation or symptom that you're dealing with will become hard to combat if you wait 10 minutes to address it. So do it very, very quickly within a few seconds. Start practicing letting go of control. A huge problem with anxiety and a huge problem with night anxiety, or some of these associations, we try to micromanage them and control the situation. The more you try to control it, the worse it will be. Let things flow, symptoms, negative thoughts, all these things. Let it flow through you like energy. Stop trying to hold on to something and to fix something, or you put a lot of fear and focus on it. It just magnifies the problem. If you made it this far in the video, go down below and in all caps, I want you to put "Tonight is an opportunity." Tonight is an opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, is down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. It's changing lives. I want you to be a part of that. I mentioned the routine being in there amongst many other documents and downloadables. Also, close to 100 videos. It's going to give you a step-by-step process on how I recovered, not just from night anxiety, from anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and health anxiety. So be a part of that. I'll go ahead and give you a review right now. Jay says, check out Trey Jones Anxiety Bootcamp class. I started it this week and I am already seeing a difference. Follow everything to a T and be diligent in making sure you're applying everything. I'm telling you, this has worked better than any medication or therapy I have been through. And for all the value you get in the class, you can't beat the price. So again, be a part of that. If you're interested in coaching one-on-one with me, that information is down below. There's a link for online therapy. But guys, until next time, keep fighting.